Yo, 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 what's up, peoples? What's up, peoples? What's going on? It's your boy MM2K. Back from hiatus. Back with another one. This is not quite the medicine. This is not quite the prognosis. This is, the little in between shot, the quick dose. You know what I'm saying? There's some things that happened over the past week or so in gaming. And if you guys have been following your boy, I've been on a schedule. I've been trying to be a little bit more construct and concise on the material that I'm bringing to everybody. And I tried to give you guys forewarning. You know what I mean? Dark Link 999. What's going on? What's going on as everybody fills up? So in me trying to be a little bit more professional, I put out a schedule. I sent it out on Twitter earlier today. But at the last minute, MM2K's wife with her last minute shit and shenanigans, just out of nowhere, says, "Hey, hubby, I know we was gonna celebrate the 4th on Saturday, but I want to celebrate it on the 4th." She tells me this 7 o'clock the night before. Now, for those of you that don't know, MM2K does all the damn cooking, okay? Well, for me and her, because I have dairy allergies, she's vegan, so a lot of the stuff that we make, you know what I'm saying, it has to be made a certain way. She, quote unquote, don't know how to make this stuff, right? But I do. So I got to do all the cooking late at night. You tell me 7 o'clock at night, and it's already 1,000 degrees outside. I'm boiling like a damn lobster already. So I had to cut everything short, and I deeply apologize. But opposite of those occasional snafus, your boy will be here on a regular basis, following the schedule. And if I have any updates that I need to provide, I will let y'all know. I appreciate the people that are watching now. Let me see. If I can get to my actual show, live stream. I'm trying to tweet this out. I'm not going to spend a day and a half here. Is it going to give me the link to the show? And because it is YouTube, says something. Okay, maybe experiencing minor issues. I don't know, man. Is everything okay with you guys? If not, let me know on the link. I'm going to try to do something here. I ain't got time for this weirdo stuff with YouTube. That's why. Oh, yeah. And while I'm talking about this, look, here's the deal, y'all. I know it seems like that I got ADHD and I'm all over the place, right? But trust me, that's not the case. I don't think it is. Okay. Your boy had to spread the love to multiple platforms. Okay. So I wish I could show y'all this right now. This is ridiculous. Your boy had to spread the love to multiple platforms because, I am going to show y'all this right now. This is what I'm dealing with when I'm dealing with YouTube. Let me see if I can transition this. Hold on. I gotta do a couple things here. I just want to show y'all what I got to deal with here. This dog shit platform. Because it's still kind of, they lucky. Hold on one second. Let me see something. I'm going to try to address something here. This dog shit platform. Come on, man. There we go. Now, I have no idea why all these programs that you use, man, they're garbage. They garbage, MM. They garbage. Okay. I think we're going to do that. Like so. I've fixed this a long time ago, but it's I'm telling you, between YouTube and Streamlabs OBS, oh my God, dear Lord, child, these are some garbage platforms. Got you wondering who the hell's these people working there doing this work. Shit. Need some help? I'm a novice at this stuff, and I can do better than this dog shit. All right, I'm going to show y'all something. Okay. And we're going to get into this real quick. We're not going to spend forever. King Player, what's going on? Devil Shooter. Can't have positive news when there is none. Hey, look, man. And Devil Shooter. In the world of a lot of these people that are attacking your boy, we're going to address this. You're supposed to make the positive news up. You're supposed to make it up. You know what I'm saying? You don't deal with reality. These people want to be in an alternate reality where they want you to highlight stuff that isn't there. But we're going to get into it. But I just want to show y'all something. So do y'all see this? Okay, so I'm live. I'm trying to find my content. I'm trying to find my live channel. And guess where it's at, y'all? It's right here. Right here, smack dab in the middle. YouTube used to place it right here at the beginning, you know, when you went live. But my live feed is right there. Now I can't get jiggy with that shit. Let me mute this. Let me mute this. Okay. I can't get jiggy with this shit. All right. Ridiculous. I just wanted to show that to you. So that's the why I say, you know what I'm saying, that I'm going live and hold on. We all here we go. Okay, my bad, y'all. We all over the place. This is not the prognosis. Hey, if there was no better display of how much of a mess up Streamlabs OBS is, it just switched the scene on me all of a sudden. But I just want to show y'all what I'm dealing with. You know? I appreciate all of y'all. Sorry about that. Golly. Jesus Christ. Oh, but again, to Devil Shooter's point, they want me to create news that isn't there. All right, so y'all see the title of the show. Well, before I get into that, let me do this because I'm going to, now that I got everything up, I can now retweet this out. And I would like to ask y'all to do your boy a favor. You see the, it won't let me post that out for some reason. That's weird. I'm going to try it from here. Something's cutting up here. Let me try. I'm going to try to put it in here. You see that? That's the free messaging app. Okay? Stuart Stokes, what's up, Stuart? If you want to leave a message for me to see, while we live on air, Stuart, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that, bro. But yeah, if you want to leave a message for me to see live on air, and we're gonna go over it, you can do that through the free messaging app. All right, we're gonna get into this. I'm gonna tweet this out to a couple of places though. Jeez Louise, hot Jiminy Crickets. I want to first and foremost let everybody know why I'm doing this. I kind of precursed this with letting you know that I have not really dropped content since Thursday, and I let you know why. You know, my wife with her impromptu, let's go do this. And I'm like, sweetheart, I'm trying to be professional. You know what I'm saying? I'm on the schedule. Please help your husband out. You know? Okay. So I'm putting this out there. But, you know, my wife is my wife. She gonna do what she gonna do. So, you know, because, and I did enjoy the holiday. We saw Spider-Man. I'm actually gonna go see it again. One of my chillins wasn't able to make it with us. He went to a baseball game, so we're gonna go watch it again today. So, and I enjoyed it. I particularly enjoyed the last cutscenes too. They were cool. They were cool, and it got me excited for what the Marvel Universe got in store going down the road. But with that said, Not only am I doing this because of the lack of news that has come from my channels, but I'm doing this because what really sparked this, because I had a video that I was going to drop. What really sparked this was a conversation that I had with my son. All right. My son, me and my son went to go get some fish sandwiches yesterday, right? And look, chicken and beer is your boy's forte, but I had my son with me, you know what I'm saying? And I said, you know what? I'm not gonna have the chicken and beer this Sunday. I'm gonna give me a fish sandwich. Let me take my youngest son with me, right? He's 13. Okay. So we go get these fish sandwiches and we're eating. And my son's in a lot of activities. He plays soccer and he does a whole bunch of stuff. So that's why he couldn't come with us to see Spider-Man. And I'm not that caring of a father to wait for his ass to get done with all this stuff. So I said, we'll just watch it again, bro. But so we're sitting there eating these fish sandwiches, right? And my son says, now he's a hardcore. And we're going to talk about that too this week, about the difference between a hardcore gamer and a casual gamer, and how people are confusing being a hardcore gamer opposed to wanting hardcore content. With that said, King Player said Xbox needs to call Thanos to ease PlayStation 4 Switch so they can win the console gen. Hey, look, bro. King, these cats don't care about winning as far as what we consider winning to be. And we're going to get into that this week too, because this week is going to be an awakening week. I may not have all this content coming, but I'm slowing the driblet of information out because I want y'all to absorb everything that I have to say, because we're going to have an awakening week where I want everybody to look at everything in totality and understand what's going on. Let's stop all the bull crap. Let's stop all the damage control. Let's stop trying to make excuses and praise corporate entities like they're a sports team or they're a long lost relative we found off a USA search. We're not going to do that this week. Okay? We're going to look at everything from 5,000 feet, like your boy liked to say ad nauseum. And we are going to judge everything appropriately. All right? So with that said, big ups to Dirk Griggity. So here we go. He says RIP Xbox coming. See, those is them terms, y'all. Big up to the homie Griggity. Those is them terms, y'all, that we're going to address. The RIP Xbox, We're going to decipher those terms, and we're going to break it down to the very, like my man K, if you're an old school hip hop fan, like my man KRS once said, we're going to break it down to the very last compound. All right, we're going to get to the nitty gritty. All right, but back to this conversation that I had with my son that sparked this whole thing today. Okay, so my son says, Dad, I've been listening to your content. I don't get what your issue is with Game Pass, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, Game Pass is live and direct, bro. I was like, well, son, what makes Game Pass so live and direct? Because I know what he plays. He was like, well, Phil Spencer said that Game Pass is such a super value, and it's, you know what I'm saying, and it provides you a lot of experiences that you just can't beat. Now, of course, because we're, same household and can share Xbox, I got my main Xbox information on the console that he plays on. But my son is a PC gamer at heart. You know what I mean? I mean, this dude, he was just telling me yesterday, Dad, I beat all the Dark Souls and the demons. I said, what? He said, yeah, Dad, over the weekend, I said, what? I said, man, I played Dark Souls for like maybe a half an hour. I was like, this ain't for me, man. I ain't got time. And I'm an old school gamer, so dying repeatedly is something that it's not new to me. But he's like, yeah, Dad, I ain't nothing else to do. I beat all the Dark Souls over the weekend. I said, what? That's a phenomenon. But with that said, so he's getting on my case about Game Pass. And he said, Dad, Game Pass is great. It's like, what's your problem? I said, well, what makes it great? He said, well, Phil Spencer said. And I said, oh. I said, well, fill me in what Phil Spencer said. And Phil Spencer said this, that, and the other. So then I asked him, I said, well, son, what's the value to you on Game Pass? What's valuable to you? And he's like, well, he can't find the words. He's verklempt. I said, okay, so why are you disturbing me enjoying my fish sandwich to tell me it was some bogus stuff? I said, why would you say that? He said, well, Phil Spencer's saying. I said, hold on, whoa. I said, why are you on this kick now? Phil Spencer said, well, he seemed like a cool dude. And he said that the content is coming to Xbox Game Pass and all this other stuff. I said, well, son, what are you playing off of Game Pass? And you know, don't get me wrong. It's cool that Metro's out there. But again, if you're a gamer, you had Metro at launch. He had Metro at launch. He loved the Epic Game Store. You know what I'm saying? That's his thing, you know? He ain't falling for his dad's propaganda, so he had it at launch, right? Or close to launch. So he's finding. And the only thing he got is Phil said. Right? And that's the problem. Is that if you take away the likability of Phil Spencer, okay, and you take away the noise from across the street that puts Xbox gamers in a box or backs them up against a wall that makes them feel like they can't give an edge to the people across the street. Let's just say if the PlayStation community was the nicest community in the world and they weren't in the console war game and they never said anything negative about Xbox. And let's just say if it wasn't Phil Spencer, if it was Don Matrick doing the exact same things, would we be praising and wanting everybody to just stop the barrage of negative information on Xbox, and want people to make up good news for Xbox, right? Would we be okay with this perpetual state of wait with Xbox if it wasn't for those two elements? Would we be okay with a $500 box that has a $200 competitor that has games on it that look better than the $500 box? Would we be okay with that if it wasn't for this entity, Phil Spencer, and the noise from across the street? See, we're going to get into it today, baby. We're going to talk, we're going to keep it real today. So everybody that says, yo, the RIP Xbox podcast, yo, you see the title of this thing, right? What happened to the positive Xbox news? I ask you, what happened to your gamer foresight? Because I've never seen a generation like this where in generations past, we would have let this type of stuff go. Never. I've never seen this. Never seen it before. But it has a background. The background is coming into this generation, the same people that are screaming, "Uncle, stop hitting on me. Were talking shit at the beginning of the generation. They were ready for the war. They were ready to knuckle up, right? And then once it became evident that they would no longer be suited in the protective armor of Xbox trying to compete with PlayStation, then they're screaming, "Uncle, stop! Just leave us alone! Stop hitting me! That's my face!" And they want the barrage to stop. And they just want their purchase to be validated and just to be left alone. To them, that's what this is all about. It's all about validating their purchase and their choice to have Xbox, their preferred console, and they don't want to deal with any negative news. They don't want anybody spewing anything negative. I mean, you've heard the podcast at the end of this week. People are frustrated that they feel slighted. But again, people are frustrated that other gamers feel slighted. But again, I market you product A. I get your money off of product A. I continue to promise you product A, but then I'm giving you nothing but product B. Now, you, on the other hand, might be okay with product B. The switcheroony might be okay with you. But those that came for product A, that are not getting product A, are being slighted, right? So in generations past, gamers would have united forces and said, hold on. You're not doing this to my brethren. I'm not for this. This ain't cool. Because next, instead of giving me the product B or the product A that I'm satisfied with, then you're going to try to slide in and run with product C, which none of us like. But if it makes you money, you're going to do it. So I'm going to stop you at the pass before it does affect me directly, right? That's how gamers approach stuff in the past. Not today, not now, so they want us to shut up. But let me get, it's deeper than rap, okay? Let me get into it. Let me just break it down like this. Because the question to your boy directly is, why no more positive news showing ways that Xbox is superior? I'll tell you why. Simply put, the console war is over. It's over. Our boxer got knocked out 12 seconds into the first round. The other motherfucking boxer standing over us, spitting our face while we're down. Then went in the crowd and took our woman and walked off. And did the post conference with her hugged up on him. Right? So there is, and this didn't happen by accident. Those that want to cling to 2013 as the reason that this all happened, that's BS. In the 2013 era, at the worst of the hyperbole against Xbox, at the worst of the media bias showing, Xbox was down maybe 1.5, maybe 2 to 1. And that's with it being $100 higher. Once Phil Spencer got in the game, the gap widened. It widened. How does that happen? And how does that happen within a time that Xbox is making more money than they ever have? Ever. Xbox has been spilling over money. It was even to the point that Paul Thurrott, a known Microsoft enthusiast and writer, was like, I don't know if you look at the whole lifespan of Xbox, if they ever made money, if you equate the whole lifespan of Xbox. Xbox is actually making money now. Making more money than it ever did. We've already talked about this. Sony didn't have any money. And during the end of its generation, they were giving what is the equivalent of bangers to their enthusiasts. So what's the excuse? We got knocked the F out. We got knocked the hell out, spit on our forehead, and walked off with our woman. The competition did. It didn't happen by accident. We threw the fight. Now we got to ask, why did we throw the fight? And what are we throwing the fight for? Because if you throw a fight, you're doing it for a reason. Is it financial gain? You throw this fight, we're going to give you this bag, or there's a better opportunity for you to just get this over with. Or is it, I'm just not suited for, I'm just going to let this go right now and have my comeback be more impactful. Now, throwing the fight in any realm is not the thing to do. It's not the honorable thing to do. But again, these are businesses. So you know what I'm saying? Look, PlayStation 3 tried this bullshit last generation. Xbox 360 was released with a 60% failure rate. Businesses do shady shit all the time, right? But you gotta evaluate. If you invested a whole bunch of money on something, if you put your money on the wood and the people didn't and the business didn't produce for you, and they just threw the fight and didn't give you the product that they promised, then you at least gotta ask, well, what the hell happened? And what ends is this means, right? No, you're supposed to just make up. Oh, they didn't throw the fight. They slipped and hit their head off the turnbuckle and the cat. It was all an accident. That's what they want you to do out here in this community. That's unbelievable to me. So, for those of you that are focused on the quote-unquote positive Xbox news, it ain't time to just make up shit. They threw the fight. They got our money. We got a $500 box with a $200 counterpart that got games on it that look better than the $500 box. We got to understand why. They got more than enough resources to where that shouldn't be happening. Rapid pack math my ass. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna jump on that? Well, it was that Mark Cerny with that rapid pack math, man. Microsoft didn't have access to it. Is that what we gonna roll with now, Xbox brethren? We need to ask questions. We not need to just assume that they slept, because that's what they want you to believe. There is too much evidence to show that all this was intentional. So we need to ask questions. We need to evaluate what went wrong and what the focus needs to be on how to fix this next time around. What y'all want to do again is I'm going to use the same scenario. We got knocked out 12 seconds into the first round. Motherfucker hovered over us, was about to teabag. I said, you know what, it ain't even worth teabagging this motherfucker. Spit on our foreheads. Went over the top rope, went into the crowd, took our woman, and went off to the post press conference, right? And they throwing the smelling salts over our face. And we hop up, and we want to still talk shit. We still want people. We still want people to interview us like this is the pre-fight weigh-in. You know what I'm saying? Where we can sit there and talk shit. There is no shit to talk. What is positive? What's positive? We're on the cusp of a new generation coming. We have nothing tangible in our hands that says, this is what we're doing for you, the hardcore content wanter that you should be excited about. There is just an infrastructure that potentially could do something. We're going to get into why it's just all in potential. And why you guys are equating this to meaning something in the long run, which is false, okay? But that's what's going on. For those of you that want to run with this RP Xbox podcast, or you're just hating on Xbox and all this other stuff, questions need to be asked. And if Microsoft is dropping questionable shit every day, then we need to ask those questions every day. And as a gamer, you got to ask yourself, do you want Xbox propaganda, or do you want to go and be propelled into the next generation, into stuff that you like as a gamer via Xbox? That's what you got to ask yourself. Again, I repeat, do you want Xbox propaganda, or do you want to be propelled into the next generation with product and services you want via Xbox? If you want the latter, then you have to ask questions on the abysmal failure this generation. Big up to King Player in the chat who says, Xbox said the reason why their console losing is because Xbox have no money. They are broke. You're hearing everything under the sun. And that's a great point, King's Player. We're going to get into all these little different excuses. Hey, look, y'all, I did a podcast on Twitch. Follow me on Twitch. Twitch.tv/Mighty Most 2000. There we have something called the Hard Knock Digital Culture. We highlight all hardcore gaming content, hardcore media content, including hardcore anime. You know what I'm saying? We keeping it hardcore over there. All right. We have a podcast that we do over there. It's called the NRO Project right now. It's formally named that. During that, in my last NRO Project podcast, we slapped down every single excuse, every single fairy tale excuse for Phil Spencer. I'll cover it at a high level here. But in full detail, if you got somebody, one of these Phil stands, one of these wind gumps that are trying to derail the forward progress of gaming for the sake of fanboying for a corporation, not to move gaming forward, but to put on knee pads for a corporation, the next time you hear them give you one of their spin talking points, MM2K covers why all of it is bullpucky. Listen to that podcast after this one. Miko Doss, what's up? With that said, questions again have to be asked. This was an abysmal failure. Phil said that he is in this to win it this generation. Then all of a sudden everything broke left. They knew what they wanted to. When Satya, and I already covered this too in the whole Terry Myerson Bibble Babble too. I had to give y'all the business acumen. As someone that's been doing this for 20 plus years, working with a Fortune 500 company, we had to take all the bull crap. We had to take the biggest knife off the drawer, cut the bull crap out. People want to continuously praise Phil for the positive, quote unquote, Xbox news, but say Phil had nothing to do with it within the same roles when it was negative stuff. All of those deals that you praise Phil for, guess who had to sign off on them? Donnie D or Terry Myerson. Okay? Along with the negative stuff. Okay? Satya Nadella is the one that flipped everything on his head and said, I want everything connected to the cloud. But that's all the man said. He didn't say, trick your brass in order to do it. He didn't say, come buttercream gang soft with the content. He didn't say that. He just wanted to connect it to the game and he wanted it done in a successful way. Phil used that as a way to introduce his softcore porn without the money shot, as Z say. I can't even blame Satya. Satya just wanted to connect it to cloud gaming. That's it. Now, because Phil's way is making the money, Satya is not complaining. But the moment enough of us wake up and enough of us speak up, and we put our foot on the necks of this initiative, then Satya will be forced to say, well, what's going on? Phil, we got this hardcore brass talking about this and that, and it's causing us reputational risk. Or, Phil, you know what I'm saying? These people aren't buying into this new product. You either need to make a change, or I keep hearing these people talk about this Mikey Barr guy. Maybe I might need to slide him in. Satya's all about success. So if we ensure that we solidify the success means that you satisfy your hardcore, and those that want hardcore content, like the Xbox is famous for, is what the Xbox brand is built off of, then we'll force Satya Nadella to take heed and get Phil Spencer in line, or put someone else in that'll do it. But here's the thing about Phil. Next question is to MM2K. Why the hate on Phil Spencer? Why? Well, I'm going to keep it honest with y'all. I never was keen on him and his negative approach to his hardcore. And the height and the height of the MM2K hyperbole, My very first video was Phil Spencer got a promotion. I'm not celebrating. I dropped that video, I believe, in August or September of 2017. Whenever Phil got his big VP promotion, I think it was. Yeah. I just didn't like the way that he categorized his hardcore. I've never seen anything like it before, but to me, it made me nauseated. It made me very nauseous, I should say, rather. But still at that time, I never fathomed that he wasn't in it to compete. Remember, previously, I'm in this to win this, right? I'm in this to win this. Remember when he said that? And then the excuses on the AAA content, I was cool with it. Quantum Break, I thought got a bad break. I thought it was an okay game, it was a good start, wasn't stellar. It wasn't that it wasn't compelling as the previous Xbox content was compelling, but it was a start. For us, we're getting deeper into the generation. We're going to start getting that compelling content because Phil keeps reassuring us that it's coming. It's right around the corner, right? Now, in regards to him reassuring us, another reason why I have issues with the job that Phil has done is, simply put, he is dishonest beyond anything I've ever seen in gaming. Now, I often hear MM2K, stop it. Phil looks like a nice guy. He wears the limbo shirts. He loves gaming. He's not like Donnie Matcher coming out in these sports coats. He's not a suit, right? And therefore, we don't believe that he's a liar. What he's saying is plausible. So we're going to roll with it and we're going to put our faith into him. And then that's where the BS comparisons to sports teams and all that other stuff comes from, because y'all are diehard believers into this nice persona. Here's the problem. What y'all don't understand is that the new aged executive, the new aged VP or the new age CEO, they're not the hardliner, hardcore, tough ass, cigar in the mouth type of person anymore. Or the jackass. The jackass, what do they call them? I forgot. The jackass yippie. You know what I'm saying? They're not one of them anymore. The new age CEO or executive is as nice as pie. As nice as pie. They have a way of them that they talk softly. They talk in a way when they're out when they're out in the public, and they talk in a way that makes it seem like that what they're saying to you is super transparent. And they all have this philanthropist state of mind, kind of like Bill Gates, kind of like a Bill Gates. That is the facade they put out there. The problem is that with all the philanthropy and all the soft talk and all that stuff, Bill Gates was cutthroat behind the scenes like a lot of these people are. He just didn't act that way in person or act that way in front of the camera. And more importantly, Bill Gates was effective. He got his core people what they wanted. Now, they may have stumbled along the way, but at the end of the day, he got people to buy into what he wanted, and they were happy with it. Where these new age people necessarily ain't that way, because they're not it because they don't got it. But when you're at that level, it's all about the aesthetics. It's all about the persona. So they just mimic the persona of Bill Gates. The philanthropist, the want to save the children and save the world, the adaptive controller, the speech at dice where I'm praising the other people and we don't believe in competition and driving the other person down. Meanwhile, you're talking shit on Stadia like there ain't no tomorrow on the Giant Bomb interview, right? And there's a lot of doublespeak. But I'm going to will you in with my nice talk and my nice philanthropist state of mind, right? And I'm going to will you in, make you feel like I'm a nice guy, connect to your emotional heartstrings, and then I'm just going to beat you with a cash register. And by the time you realized it, you would have become so comfortable with my services, you're like, I don't want to make a change. That is the new age CEO / VP. The Silicon Valley CEO / VP. What are you talking about, MM2K? You're making shit up. Phil never said that stuff was around the corner. Stuff like this takes time. We're not going to see anything until 2000, maybe 2021, 22. You've admitted this yourself. Phil never gave us this. And MM2K, you need to stop this. Exhibit A. This was an interview that Phil Spencer did, I believe with WCCF Tech. Okay. Check out this date. June 2017. Okay. Phil Spencer. We have just signed exclusives that won't be ready for 2 to 3 years. No point in showing them. Now again, the exclusives that people are talking about are what? We know what they are. AAA bangers. MM2K, he just meant games in general. You just hold on to your goddamn seats. You hold on to your goddamn seats for that one. I'm going to read you this article. Phil, since he got his VP position, with all the criticism of his core, like I mentioned before, while I'm not his biggest fan, and a lot of the deception that he's responsible for, once he got his VP promotion and seated at the big boys table, he was being heavily criticized as we approach June of 2017. So the article reads, Xbox and by extension, head of division Phil Spencer have been criticized, even here on WCCF Tech, for the limited first-party content they were able to output this generation. E3 2017 didn't really change that. Remember that. E3 2017 didn't really change that. But Spencer still wanted to reassure fans that Microsoft does indeed have plans to invest more in first-party exclusives. In an interview with Vice, he was doing this with Vice Waypoint at E3 2017, he explained the team focused on hardware first in Xbox Live, and now it's doing the same with exclusives. So they focused on, again, hardware. That, again, they gave us a $500 box that has a $200 counterpart that has games on it that look better than the $500 box. But I digress. When I started, now this is Phil Spit, when I started this job 3 years ago, hardware was a real focus for us because I thought we had more work to do. Xbox One S shipped last year. The X shipped this year. I love our hardware line. Xbox Live was something I wanted to focus on, even though Xbox Live over the last few years has become a little bit unstable, right? Right. Okay, but I digress. Coming on Android, iOS, Windows PC, because I really want people to play games on a place they want to go play. Now, again, he's focused on playing everywhere, and it's just the stability of its core elements are unstable on its core platform, which is the console. Because he wants to do this focus everywhere else, he has slighted Xbox Live even on the console because it's not as good as it used to be, right? Live chat has been all over the fucking place, right? Excuse my French. And then we're not getting the AAA bangers that we want, you know what I'm saying, as the hardcore console gamer. But I digress. I will continue to read. I wanted to focus on gaming on Android, iOS, Windows PC because I really want the people to play games on the place they want to go play. Our first party is critical part of that equation. Yesterday, in regards to that E3 in 2017, I know people wanted to see what we're investing in new. We're investing in new things. We just signed new things just recently. I thought, hey, from a PR standpoint, it will be really easy for me to put a trailer on screen. But when I know the game is not coming for another 2.5, 3 years, so I didn't want to do that, right? I understand some people say, hey, that would give me confidence in the future of Xbox. This is the cheesy line. This is that, here it goes. This is that philanthropist, nice guy. I can connect to you bullshit, right? This would be a cheesy line, but I'll just say this. Trust. This is important to us as a platform from the top CEO of the company down. If you talk to Satya Nadella, he will say, I understand we need to invest in content in the gaming space. Now wait for it. That is important to what we are going to invest. We have Sea of Thieves, Crackdown 3, right? This is before all this shit came out. State of Decay 2, Lucky's Tale, Ori, and Will of the Wisp. But I know what you're asking about. Big AAA console games. I hear that, and I'm committed to that. Again, I'm not showing you. Now he knows how this reads and how this is absorbed by the hardcore gamer, the hardcore content person that desires this stuff. He knows that reads, okay, we are 2 to 3 years out from being able to show you AAA content. Well, MM2K, that's 2017. 3 years make it 2020. So he just realized that it was going to be having a better impact if he wait till 2020. They're going to roll with that. You know they're going to roll with that, right? You know they're going to do that. Again, I know what you're asking about. Big AAA console games. I hear that, and I'm committed to that. He also said in an interview with Eurogamer, I believe, that first-party content was critical to the release of the Xbox One X. And look what we got. Super Lucky's Tales, Disney Rush, Zoo Tycoon, Phantom Dust with the original assets. Again, I have a $500 box that has a $200 counterpart that has games that look better on it. And your way of showing me how much you care critically of the software that you release with this $500 box is you give me Zoo Tycoon, Super Lucky's Tale, Disney Rush, Phantom Dust with the original assets? That's what you think I want with a $500 box? You kidding me, right? You kidding me, right, Phil? Y'all kidding me out there capping for this guy, right? Now, here's what I really want to show y'all. Here's the Big Dipper. Here is the Big Dipper. Let me see if I can find that. Now, E3 2017, he, as in Phil Spencer, explained that the team focused on hardware first and Xbox Live now it's doing the same. And prior to that, it says E3 2017 really didn't change that as far as, the limited first party. But, according to Phil Spencer, it did. It should have. And here we go, Exhibit B. 2017 E3, Xbox in 2017. Phil Spencer promises more exclusive games than the 2016. But then if you look at 2016, he said E3 2016 could be one of our most special years ever. So 2017 is supposed to be better than 2016. That was going to be one of our most special years ever. But I want to show y'all something else. Phil Spencer took head of the Microsoft Studios in 2009. Now look what we got in 2009. Halo Wars, Magna Carta 2, Forza, Lips number one hits, Indy 50 Revolution, Race Pro Stock Cubed, right? That's 2009 when he officially took over as the head of Microsoft Studios. Look what we got in 2008. We got Lost Odyssey, Cul-de-sac, Too Human, even Too Human, goddammit, Infinite and Discovery, Fable 2, Gears of Wars 2, Kingdom Under Fire, Operation Darkness, Naruto Broken Bond, Zoid Assault, Spectral Force 3. I dare to say this, that none of these years under Phil Spencer as head of Xbox are better than 2008 before he became head of studios. None of it is. None of it is. But again, 2017 was supposed to be better than 2016, which could be one. And 2016 was supposed to be one of our most special years ever. How? When it's not even better than 2008. You can't even match 2008. Now I know what people are saying to themselves, and I know what people have said. Well, MM2K, that's when they was focused on the Kinect. And they couldn't do the Look, you talk about blank checkbooks. Steve Ballmer was there. Steve Ballmer was sold on the idealism of Donnie D. Whatever Donnie D was going to greenlit would have gone. No matter what the cost was, regardless of what the revenue base was. And they lost a lot of money. Xbox did. We know that, right? Now, we know Donnie D's pedigree. Yeah, he focused on this Kinect BS. But we know Donnie D's eyes were bigger than his stomach. We got games like Rise. We got games like Quantum Break, right? The games that Phil really didn't care for. You know what I'm saying? Well, Phil did help to cultivate Rise, so it's not fair for me to say that. But the best new IP that Xbox got, Quantum Break, right? This generation, people could now go sit and say, well, no, Rise was better. Stop it. Stop it. The best new IP that they got, Quantum Break. Phil didn't like that. He hated that. He didn't really care for Remedy. We know they were all brought on board, Remedy, and their good works because of Donnie D. We know Donnie D was focused on this TV thing because Microsoft and Xbox as a whole wanted to take over the living room. When that was still part of their strategy, that's something that Donnie D had to focus on. His ideal, along with Phil Harris, was the Kinect. Phil Harrison, the guy that's now in charge of Stadia, was the Kinect. That was their way of reaching out to the casual to bring them in and win the war of the living room, was the Kinect. Because the Wii was so successful with motion control. And unfortunately, Xbox doubled down on that. But we also know Donnie D's pedigree of wanting AAA hardcore stuff. We know the big aspirations that he had with Scalebound. We know the big aspirations that he had with Fable Legends. We know the big aspirations that he had with that Obsidian game, right? That got canceled. That didn't work out. So we know Donnie D had an appreciation for the hardcore as well, along with the appreciation for some of this more casual grabbing stuff. So Donnie D could walk and chew gum at the same time. Was it always effective? No. Was Donnie D the best head of Xbox? No. But again, we cannot doubt Donnie D's pedigree for hardcore gaming. What we can do, and what we do have evidence of, is Phil's pedigree. Because even without Donnie D there, we're still getting the same caliber type of shit. Only AAA that we got to look forward to is Halo, Gears, and Forza, and maybe Fable. Look at the difference between 2008 to 2009 when Phil is the head of the studios. So don't give me that bullshit that Phil can't make the decisions. He's just the head of the studio. Like, they pay this motherfucker 6 figures just to walk around with an Xbox shirt on. I don't know what y'all do for a living, but if y'all trying to sell that garbage, that raccoon food, you need to shut down your podcast. That's the biggest. Stop drinking during the podcast. That's the biggest crock of bullshit I ever heard in my life. If you're head of studios, then you are the main gauge for seeking out content. You are the main gauge. Not to say that the people above you don't have some type of influence and they don't have types of games or particular titles that they say, ooh, do something with that, do something with this. But the flow of games in totality generally go through you. You are the head of the studios. They don't pay you the money just to put on the Xbox shirt and just walk around the goddamn campus. Do not believe the people that don't have a pedigree in this Fortune 500 world. I'm letting you know it's just bullshit. If Phil Spencer was all about that hardcore content gaming life, he would have brought titles to Donnie D that looked better than this, that would have been greenlit. And just 2009, that was his best year. Let's go to 2010. 99 Nights 2, Crackdown 2, Halo Reach, just more Halo and Crackdown. Let's go to 2011, Gears, Forza, Halo CE Anniversary. Let's go to 2012, Halo 4, Forza, Akai Katana. You see the titles dwindling and it's just the focus on the Halo, Gears, and Forza? 2013, Gears of War Judgment. 2014, ... mean nothing. Again, we know Donnie D focused on the casual with the Kinect, and it ended up becoming a bust for the Xbox One this generation. We know that. But again, we cannot doubt Donnie D's acceptance and his appreciation for hardcore games. He had the full backing of Steve Ballmer. They were just bleeding money. If Phil Spencer, through that gauge, through that water pipe of games that were flowing through the community, if he was nabbing out hardcore games, and he knew what Donnie D liked, if that was his focus, then we would have seen a couple more titles than just the Halo, Gears, and Forza that we've seen as far as AAA content. I get they had to focus on Kinect stuff, but again, you would have seen something more than that, and you didn't. And again, you take Donnie D out of the equation and you're seeing the same exact pattern. Less focus on the AAA, more on bullshit, the output dwindling. Now again, with this new initiative, I will admit that I do believe they're going to crank out more output. But the question isn't how much output they're going to put out. It's going to be what type of output they're putting out. So stop trying to feed me this bullshit about there are all these signs that this is that. Why would Phil Spencer hire all these AAA developers if they're going to make AA games? Let me explain something to you why that falls flat on his face. What you're judging what Phil Spencer's going to do based off of your logic, your mental logic. But based off of our mental logic, which Phil Spencer completely understands why he says what he says, but based off our mental logic, you wouldn't say shit like, oh, 2016, E3 2016 could be one of our most special years ever. If you're not showing AAA content, you wouldn't say Phil Spencer promises more exclusive games than in 2016 if you're not showing AAA content. You wouldn't say in 2018, E3 2018 will be Microsoft's biggest Xbox show ever if you're not showing AAA content. You wouldn't say in 2019, teases, unannounced games. You wouldn't do that under our mental logic. You wouldn't say those things if you don't have the AAA games to back it up. But under Phil's mental logic, it's okay to do this because it's about getting your attention and getting your money to keep you on board until we reach that 2 billion market, baby. So you got to understand what's going on here. Stop basing what y'all say Phil is going to do in the future off your logic. He's not operating off your logic. He's just using your mental logic to trap you into his game, which is the perpetual state of wait. So again, when y'all sit here and y'all try to feed me this bullshit, when you try to feed any of us this bullshit about where's the positive Xbox news, MM2K? How come you're not saying this or that nice stuff about Phil Spencer? You know what I'm saying? No, of course, I'm not just going to make up stuff, or as some people say, just there's enough negative news going around, so I'm going to focus on the positive. No, of course I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to report positive news until Phil makes positive news. Phil needs to broaden his approach on the type of content that he wants to output and how regularly he outputs it, or he needs to step over. He needs to get out of the way and let Mike Ybarra take reign. Period. And I'm going to take this time now, and I'm going to say again, y'all, if y'all want to leave something in the free messaging out for your boy MM2K, right? It don't cost you a thing, y'all. For some reason, it's not letting me, I got to put it here. For some reason, it's not letting me put it in the chat. Stuart Stokes, thank you again for signing up, bro. But yeah, you can drop something in the free loot chat. I'll read it on air like I did for my homie King's Player. Drop 2 in there. I appreciate you, bro. It helps support the channel. Now, after we went over that, the fact that I don't trust Phil, he has not given me or anybody a legitimate reason to trust him. He's, you know what I'm saying? He's been dishonest. We went over a high level how he's been dishonest. And the fact that he needs to broaden his approach. If he wants positive news, he needs to create it. I'm not going to make it up for him. He gets paid too much money. I'm not getting paid to make up shit. And as a gamer, why do you want me to fabricate stuff? Because this is bigger than you. Y'all are a minority. For those of you that just want made up positive Xbox news, because y'all want Xbox propaganda, y'all are a minority. My channel isn't built for people that just want to feed off of propaganda. My channels are built to keep gamers aware of what's going on, to be an advocate for them in their purchasing choices, whether they agree with me or not. And for me to evaluate those purchasing choices. Right now, if you're a multi-plat gamer, Xbox One X is a good machine. It's the best gaming machine out there. If you got money to blow and you just want to pick up a machine and you want to invest into an ecosystem that is focused more on letting the AAA stuff, leaving that in the hands of the multiplayer, has the best fidelity right now, then go into the Xbox One X. But if you're getting into this for the long term, and you're a fan of AAA, hardcore, gritty content, and you've been listening to Phil Spencer talk about how it's just around the corner, he's been saying that since 2017, I showed y'all. Everything's just around the corner. Then I'm warning you that he is putting you in a perpetual state of wait. He understands that he's charming. He understands the mindset of gamers. That's why he says what he says. But as far as his rollout and the things that he wants to output, he doesn't have that same mindset. He is using your mindset against you. You wouldn't say things like that unless there were AAA games to back it up. He says stuff like that because he knows that's what you expect. But he's not backing it up with AAA games. That's not his intention. Phil's intention is, I'll put it like this. Whenever you want to grab a brass of gamers, you got to have content that appeases those brass of gamers. He's pretty much told you in so many words, but you got to peel back the layer of the onions, who his core demographic is. that he wants to focus on. It's the 2 billion gamers. The 2 billion gamers are not focused on AAA games that they want to play on their phones. A lot of us wouldn't mind playing these AAA games on the phone, but that 2 billion, they want to play easy peasy games. They ain't got to be 1080p or 4K or anything like that. They got to have good, decent fidelity at 720, even 480 on a phone or a tablet. Yeah. And they want to play easy peasy games. So why not get some AAA development talent that is known to knock it out the park with AAA content? If they can knock it out the park with AAA content, then shit, they should be able to slay it with AA content, with snazzy AA content, better than the AA content that's out there. Now, according to everything that we've seen from Phil, that's more logically his game plan than him hiring AAA people to make AAA content. We've already seen what he's done with Quality Studios, how he's put his input in. We talked about Sea of Thieves and all that other stuff. That was a Microsoft-driven product. That was their beginning of the foray of, we're going to put content out there that's solely just for the purpose of connecting gamers together. That's what we're going to sell you on. We're going to sell you on the connection, not the content. So therefore, we're not selling you on the content. So as long as we have the content at a medium level where it's slightly better, it's not going to be AAA material for the most part, but it's going to be slightly better than the AA content on there. And to assure, because we're doubling down on this, to ensure that this AA content is more appealing than the other AA content out there, we're going to hire AAA developers. We're going to hire AAA developers that can if they can create phenomenal AAA titles in 5 to 7 years, then they should be able to crank out phenomenal AA content in 2 to 3 years. That's what makes sense. That's the pattern that you see from Phil. That's the more logical output from this. So with that said, Xavier Bay says the Tip app is tripping, bro. Oh, it is? Oh, let me check it out. Let me see here. This thing is known to have problems here and there. Let me check it out. No, it's up. It's up and running for me. All right. But if anybody else is experiencing issues with it, let me know. And I'll put it back out here. Let me see if it'll let me. Where's YouTube at? There it goes. Okay. I'll put it back out here. Now. So the final question is, MM2K, with all that being said, with all that yelling and screaming that you did, all that, even though it makes sense, and I still want to, cling on to my Phil Limbo t-shirt. I'm not letting it go because I just refuse. I refuse to just be honest and say I was duped. Hey, look, man, I ain't got no pride all like that, man. I'm human. It don't hurt my pride, baby. I make mistakes. I understand. I've totally accepted my mortality. I've totally accepted it. And I'm human. So I get that I'm going to make mistakes. So because I've accepted that, I'm not angry. Oh, hold on one second. I'm not angry over the prospects that I got duped by Phil Spencer. I'm not angry about it. Phil is a smart guy. He's super intelligent. That's why he was able through this shitstorm to be able to last there. You know how a cockroach survives. What do you call that? A cockroach survives, and they said a cockroach will survive an atomic bomb. Yep. He laid low just well enough to survive the atomic bomb, which was Satya Nadella. Because Satya Nadella got rid of everybody that was pro Xbox. Texas Lean with the testing. Yes, it is working. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. You know. That being said, the question is, are you going to continue to trash Xbox from here on out? No, my job is not to trash Xbox. My job is to tell the truth. I mean, do you honestly think, okay, look, let me just put this out there. And I'm not going to turn this into a Fallout 76 podcast. Y'all can say whatever y'all want about your boy. You can say he's crazy, he's delusional, he's old as hell. Maybe he ain't got his regular dosage of Metamucil, so you know what I'm saying? He's packed full of shit. Y'all can say whatever y'all want about me. One thing that y'all can say is I'm not a capper. I'm not doing this for attention. I vigorously defended Fallout 76 when that was the least popular. I wouldn't want to say probably the least popular game this generation. Least popular than Crackdown and Sea of Thieves. I defended that game to high heaven. So you can believe whatever you want about your boy. You know what I'm saying? I am not a capper. And I don't mind going into the eye of the storm to argue my points and my stance. So for all of y'all that just are not accepting of the truth, that don't want to deal with the realities of the situation, and just want to say, oh, it's Xbox hate, it's popular, so MM2K. I had somebody call me an opportunist on Twitter over the weekend, right? And then when I came back at them, they said, hold on, whoa, I rock out with y'all, man. I'm just a troller, you know what I'm saying? When you side swipe somebody, they're a troller, but apparently that may be true, but whatever. But you know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers was liking it. Oh, yeah, you're an opportunist. Was I an opportunist when I was still dropping my pro Xbox content, but I've always been critical of Phil Spencer? Was I an opportunist then? Was I an opportunist again when I was defending Fallout 76? Am I still an opportunist when I say that I'm arguing at the fact that I as a gamer who liked the legacy Xbox stuff, who's not a fan of the PlayStation stuff, I'm arguing this so vigorously because I feel like there's a void for gamers like me who like that legacy Xbox type of game, that brash, over the top, you know, shooter or you know what I'm saying, real gritty type of gameplay. You know, the Sony games, opposite of God of War, are focused more on story than they are gameplay, or the type of gameplay that I like to your boy. Now, that may all change next generation. We'll see. But with that being said, this ain't about me capping for PlayStation. I didn't sign a contract. I'm telling you that me as a gamer, I feel a void. And I want Xbox to get back in the form. And it's not only do I want Xbox to get back in the form, but I want them to account for all the lying and all the bullshit they've been telling gamers in our community. Am I an opportunist for that? Because I'm not praising the guy that I don't fucking know, that's making money off of me, that needs to render the products and services that I'm asking for. I'm an opportunist. So if you spit in my sandwich, I'm supposed to just walk away with it and eat the motherfucker? Is that what y'all telling me? I'm supposed to shut up because they didn't spit in your sandwich, they spit in mine? That don't make any sense, because if they're spitting my sandwich today on Monday, they could spit on yours on Tuesday. So what type of fucking sense does that make? But again, this is strange time. This is strange fruit that we're seeing here. Strange fruit. So no, it ain't about me trashing Xbox for likes. I don't know Phil. I don't give a shit. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't give a fuck about Phil. I don't give a fuck about any of these executives. I give two shits about the product that they give me. I can't take a handshake from Phil connected to an HDMI port and then get the best gaming experience that I've ever had. No. They do that by providing the product and services that I want, or at least showing that they're investing in the products and services that I want, not giving me a bunch of bibble babble. They can't, and see, this is the thing with Phil Spencer. Phil is an ultimate deceiver, but he knows how far to go. Okay? Phil is very fraudulent in a lot of ways, but he's not criminally fraudulent, meaning I don't think you can't do a class action lawsuit or you can't. So I know there's people chomping at the bits to come after the man like this, but no, he knows exactly what to do. That's why I said he's smarter than all of us. He's smarter than me. He's smarter than all of us. And I can admit my mortality. He caught me too. And I've been doing this shit for 20 plus years. But he did it in such a clever way that I let it roll and I let it slip as well. So I'm to blame in a lot of this too. But again, I can admit my mortality. I was wrong. What the fuck? We're human. I didn't come out of the wound a god, so I'm okay. I don't have that type of pride with myself, okay? But I guess a lot of you do. So he fooled a lot of us. He's very intelligent, very smart. He knows what line not to cross. You know what I'm saying? So again, his fraudulence isn't criminal, but it's wrong. So as long as he's doing wrong stuff intentionally, I'm going to call him out on it. I'm going to call anybody out on it. Just like how I called Sony out on not coming to E3. Like even though people are like, oh, Sony beat Microsoft and without coming to E3. Okay, in a lot of ways you could make that argument. But again, why are you judging on the lowest common denominator? This is fanfare. You should be there. You're doing well this generation, Sony. I get that you feel like you're behind the curve in some things infrastructure-wise, but that don't make no goddamn sense. You should always commit to fanfare at the top levels, and you shouldn't base how fast you run on the competitor because the competitor is the lowest common denominator right now. Okay? So, you know what I'm saying? I'll give it to anybody that's not doing what they need to do. And I'm going to advocate for the unaware gamer. Again, a lot of people like my son, who's listening to a lot of this bibble babble from Phil Spencer, was like, Dad, you need to chill out on all this Phil hate. Hold on one second. He's like, Dad, you need to chill out on a lot of this Phil hate. You're hating Phil for no good reason. Game Pass is that. Well, son, what are you basing that off of? Well, because Phil said. Why are you going off of Phil said? What are you playing in Game Pass? It's like one of the motherfucking fat boys. Then I had to tell him, well, son, you realize that Phil Spencer had said that Game Pass increases the revenue of all games because it's such a value that when they don't want because Game Pass is such a great value and it's exposing people to quote unquote great games, that people see how great these games are via Game Pass and then they start buying DLC. So Game Pass actually increases the revenue for games. And we started to see that with State of Decay. Even though State of Decay ain't the best game out there, it's not the answer sway. It's not the worst game ever. It's okay. It's decent. It's just not the AAA banger that Xbox needs to hold its hat on. Or hang its hat on, rather. But with State of Decay, it beat greatness, right? It beat God of War and God of War's follow-up release month and beat Detroit Become Human, right? And it did it at half the price. With Game Pass. Now that's effective. State of Decay is a marginally, quality product. Just not AAA, not the AAA banger that Xbox is known to hang its hat on. That's all. So that's an example of that. But since State of Decay, where have we seen that Xbox has done it up for any of its other follow-up titles? Maybe Forza. I don't think Forza won NPD. And when you do a year-to-date litmus of 2018, when you go, of 2019, excuse me, when you go year-to-date, from January to May of 2019, we can only go to May because we don't have June NPDs yet. But when you go May to May, there is not a single Xbox game in the top 10. When you do a rolling calendar litmus, When you start from May of 2018 and go to May of 2019, there again is not a single Xbox game within that litmus. You got to ask yourself why. And that includes Minecraft. You got to then ask yourself why. That's because we're not getting quality. But Game Pass was supposed to increase the qualitative nature, the quantitative nature financially of games, right? Right. So how come when you have those two litmuses, those two long-term litmuses, Xbox games are nowhere to be seen? Because at the end of the day, it don't matter the method. It's all about the content. I keep telling y'all. Phil wants to deliver y'all ice cold pizza in a jetpack. Y'all are hell bent and been purchased, as far as mindshare is concerned, off the fact that he's coming, showing up to your doorstep in a jetpack. Mom, look at the guy. He came in a jetpack. Look, oh, this is so cool. But he's handing you cold, half-cooked pizza. After the first couple of visits, you're going to realize, hold on, man. This shit ain't all good. This is dog shit. And that's what's happening. So I'm going to fight and be an advocate for the unaware gamer that hears that hyperbole, like my son and other gamers that are not aware, that don't understand what they're dealing with when they come across someone who is fraudulent in the gaming community at the level Phil Spencer is. I know there's frauds everywhere, but Phil Spencer is selling you hope in a perpetual state of wait like I've never seen before. Never. Fraudulent beyond fraudulent. That unaware gamer needs protection. And I'm also going to fight for the unaware gamer against those in the community that, again, want to praise a corporate entity. I don't know for what reason. Because y'all feel comfortable. I don't know if some of y'all ain't got lives, y'all ain't got families, y'all ain't got no friends. I don't know what the reasoning is. But again, to see a fellow gamer have his sandwich spit into, and y'all can sit there and say, no, the spit came out by accident. I showed y'all time and time again where all this shit is intentional. For you to see someone spit in someone else's sandwich and then walk off and you expect them to just eat it or just shut up and get out of the store and don't ruin your experience. How can you feel comfortable with that knowing that the next time around they can spit in your sandwich? They can spit in your sandwich. I say shit sandwich earlier. I didn't mean shit sandwich. But I just meant merely spit into your sandwich. I'm going to fight against those in the community that just want to throw out titles like Xbox hate and all that other silly stuff. I'm going to fight against those. Because I don't know if these are corporate sock accounts or what. And but this ain't all going to be negative. I've also laid down suggestions and I've done it. But nobody wants to talk about this. I've done it. I laid down suggestions on how they can improve. I've talked about how Xbox can better communicate with those wanting hardcore content. I talked about where they can get and who or where they need to go to tap to get the product back on point. I talked about how they can better enhance what they already have. I've talked about doing all of that while maintaining the CEO's philosophy, which is simply, I just want everything connected to streaming. That's all he said. He didn't tell Phil to do all this other shit. Satya's not like that. Satya just wanted everything connected to streaming. That's it. Phil used that as a gateway to give y'all this diabetic gaming that he so much loves. I told y'all. And y'all want to deny it? You know, Phil ain't into diabetic gaming. What you talking about, MM2K? That's bullshit. Phil ain't into diabetic gaming? Since Phil took again, we're going to do this one more time. We're going to do this one more again. 2008, before Phil officially took head as the head of Microsoft Studios, we had Lost Odyssey, Cordyceps Saga, Too Human, and Infinite and Discovery, Viva Pinata, Fable 2, Gears of War 2, Banjo and Kazooie. We had the Dance Dance Revolutions, but Kingdom Under Fire, Operation Darkness, Spectral Force 3, Guilty Gears 2, Zoids, God, Naruto. That's 2008. That's before he officially became head of the studios. Let's go to 2009. Halo Wars, Halo ODST, Magna Carta, Forza, Lips, Race Bro, Stockton, Q. What the hell is those games? But there's the Halos, the Halo Gears and Forza. Let's go to 2010. Okay, we had 99 Nights 2, which, meh. But Crackdown 2, Halo Reach, Morph, and Naval Assault. You see how the list is dwindling? 2011, Gears of War 3, Motorsport 4, Forza, and Halo CE Anniversary, Halo Gears and Forza. 2012, Halo 4, Forza Horizon, Akai Katana. 2013, Gears of War Judgment, Halo Gears and Forza. 2014, ... The proof is in the pudding, people. Now, if Microsoft shows they are properly addressing those specific areas in the ways mentioned prior, then I'll advocate the good news. When they start speaking to the hardcore, yes, we understand what our hardcore gamers want, therefore we're working on this. We understand that, so therefore we're doing this, and they start showing us hardcore content, then yes, they're going to get accolades from me. Because they have been the channel, they have been the funnel that have given me that stuff before. I haven't gotten it prior from PlayStation. But it's a golden opportunity for PlayStation to try to start providing that content. But I'm used to getting it from Xbox. I'm already invested in the ecosystem. If they get everything back aboard, fine. But they got to at least speak it and show it. So if they start speaking it and show it, then yeah, I'll advocate it. But I'm not making up good news. But right now, with everything that I've showed y'all, they are on the official Hard Knock digital content, or Hard Knock digital culture, excuse me. They are the official Hard Knock digital culture anti-hardcore content watch list. Say that fast 5 times. They are anti-hardcore content. They're not going past Halo, Gears, and Forza by all intents and purposes. Maybe Fable. For the hardcore content, and everything else is going to be flooded with this AA content, with ease of port for the 2 billion gamer. And I don't mind. Look, Xbox can have whatever strategy that they want to have. That's not my problem. I don't like it, but that's not my problem. My problem is that you're lying, you're being fraudulent, you're wrong. It may not be criminal, but you're still wrong and lying. And I showed you how you done it. And trying to keep me aboard until you get this other business strategy afloat. Again, I hear so much from my Xbox brethren that, screw Platinum Games. Platinum Games is horrible. They went and drained Xbox dry on Scalebound so they could fund Nier Automata. Again, this argument. My Xbox brethren, for my people like Victor Alistine, my homie, in the chat. Listen to this, because I've seen you make this argument that Xbox was so wrong for draining. I mean, not Xbox, but Platinum Games was so wrong for draining Microsoft of its Scalebound money to help fund Nier Automata. That's what y'all running with, right? And Nier Automata became a success. But even though it became a success in some ways for its AA whatever the case may be, y'all weren't celebrating it, right? Y'all was hating on the game. How is that any different from Phil lying to the hardcore content consumer, taking their money, telling them the hardcore content is just around the corner, 2017. We're going to be willing to show y'all, we're going to be ready to show y'all stuff in 2 to 3 years. And you ain't showed us nothing. You don't even want to speak about nothing. You keep telling us you're more excited for the stuff you keep saying that garbage every year. Right? How is that any different than Phil frauding the hardcore content consumer, taking their money to help fund this outreach to the 2 billion? How is that any different? So if y'all want to go off this whole thing, the platinum defrauded Microsoft and its consumers by taking scalebound money and helping to create Nier Automata, then you better be on Phil's case about defrauding the hardcore content creator, telling him that the hardcore content is just around the corner, and using it to fund his outreach to the 2 billion gamers. Same difference. Same difference. So with that said, that's what this channel is going to be about. That's what my content's going to be about. Everybody's welcome. But I'm not a propaganda provider. These companies are not paying me. I am not just going to make up good news just for the sake of doing it. You got to show and prove. And if you don't, then you're not getting my support. I want hardcore, gritty content. Sorry for that. I want hardcore, gritty content. You can, within the hardcore, gritty content, provide all this other shit. I don't care. But don't keep lying to me. And as long as you lie to me and you're defrauding and you're confusing gamers, I'm gonna call you out for it. We're looking out for the unaware gamer on this channel, and we're highlighting hardcore, gritty content. Period. Don't like it, I don't know what to tell you. And with that being said, that's it from your boy MM2K. This went a lot longer than I anticipated, but I'm going to shout out everybody in the chat. Big up to Xavier Bay, Victor Allison, Soundwave, D Almighty, Devil Shooter, Miko Dawes. I've been had skills. Texas Lee. Heath Stevens. Rage Not. Hit that goddamn like button. I appreciate that, bro. Paul G. Will 6. Graphic God. One White Kong. Bang, bang. I appreciate y'all, man. The real master moth takes baths in the Bethesda bikini. You wish. Cali Rex, what's up? King X Player, Dirk Griggity, and Dark Link 999. I appreciate all of y'all for coming out, man. Straight up. Thank y'all so much. Chain Drive K2, what's up? So, thank you everybody for listening. I just wanted to put that out there, let y'all know what your boy's been providing as far as content. Stay tuned. I dropped information. Follow me on Twitter to see my schedule for this week. We're a little bit lighter on content, but that's because we're making some enhancements to both of the channels, to all of the podcasts, and all that good stuff. With that being said, thank you everybody that's been watching, for everybody that viewed, for everybody that's following me here. Go follow your boy at twitch.tv/MightyMost2000 for the Hard Knock digital culture, where we're highlighting hardcore gaming, hardcore cinema, including hardcore anime, all that good stuff. You know, support the NRO project. All right, more to come on that. And with that said, y'all all have a wonderful, wonderful gaming day. Peace.